And you know what? Like, I'm standing here and then, like, I've seen people with Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff, but this is just, it's just different fun. How much land do you have here?
Just over 200 acres.
200 acres. Do you live American dream?
I'd say so, yes.
Do you try to recruit those high schoolers for your roofing business?
It's a trade that nobody really wants to get into.
So you started before the internet,
Yes.
and you started right away
I didn't even have a cell phone when I started. We had the answering machine, and we wrote all our proposals on paper.
Shit. Look at that guy. You own the gym now. What's more profitable, gym or a roofing business? Look at them. They just coming at you.
Oh yeah, staying here. He wants out. He wants grass.
I've made over 100 trips this year. I've been in the fancy garages and nice backyards, but this is one of the most impressive ones. We are in Wisconsin. If you've been following Roofing Insights for years, you have noticed how many fitness challenges we had over the years. Fittest roofer, arm wrestling competitions. That's because I believe that fitness is a huge part of life, and if you want to be a successful business owner, you have to pay attention to your personal fitness and those around you. You're about to meet one of the fittest men in our industry. His name is Shem, and he was nominated Fittest Roofer a couple years ago. He was second 2 years ago. And number one comment on our fitness challenges that we got over the years is, he's not even a roofer. What does it prove? Show roofers doing it. Well, Shem's been in the roofing industry for 20 years. He actually works to this day with his hands, and he happened to be a gym owner. Let's go and talk to Shem. The home of Fittest Roofer.
Dimitri, welcome to RV Lex Fit, my man.
A roofing business owner for,
Yes.
for 20 years.
Yes.
How did you end up here?
Well, the gym's always been part of my life, and COVID hit. The previous owners took a toll on them, so they didn't really want to continue, and we approached them about selling the place and made an offer, and they accepted, so here we are. A year later to the date, we're gym owners.
How did you get in construction? What was your first job?
My first job was for a local company out of Plain, Kramer Brothers. I did that for a summer in
Plain,
Wisconsin.
Okay.
So,
Oh, city.
yeah, Kramer Brothers. It's a big construction company, and I learned a lot there, but it wasn't the right fit for me, so I left that. Actually went and worked for a local beer distributor in town.
How old were you?
I was 19 at the time.
What
So,
kind of job was that?
merchandising, like delivering beer. And
But what about construction first job?
I was a laborer.
Like
Carrying 2x4s, bricks, just whatever everybody else wanted, whatever everybody else didn't want to do. So
How did someone end up in construction in Wisconsin? Is it just like a natural path for a guy?
it's kind of a way of life in Plain. I mean, it's a big company, and it's a very big company. And right out of high school, you get an opportunity to go there. And I think I made $18 an hour. So
That's really good.
It's good pay. They pay well. So, but it's a hard trade, and then you're working for somebody. And I grew up as a dairy farmer, so you really had bosses. And,
How did you get back to the construction after?
well, one of my friends, actually, the guy that I bought the gym with, this gym, he approached me and said he's working for a company. He's making $14 an hour. At the time, I was making $8.50 an hour at Budweiser. He's like, roofing, man, just come do this with me. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I tried it. The first day on the job was a 10-12 log cabin. So it was 2 stories high. I got an introduction to roofing the hard way. It was a new construction, but we put on the ridge vent with screws. So that was a whole new, wow, you know, when you can just nail them on, but he wanted them screwed on. And that was the start of that.
What's the busiest time of the day here?
I'd say around 4 o'clock when the high school gets out. They all
So
come
a lot
here.
of high schoolers?
A lot of high schoolers. People after work around 5. 6 o'clock in the morning, we get some of the earlier crowd. There's a local business in town that employs a lot of the town.
Do you try to recruit those high schoolers for your roofing business?
It's a trade that nobody really wants to get into, but I'd love to, but I mean, trades are dying, unfortunately. So it's hard to
I mean, what do you think need to happen for the trades to start being attractive? Is that money? Like, if we would pay $100 an hour.
Well, you definitely get people then. I mean, but then your profit's out the window at that point.
But I mean, if nobody's doing it, demand is going to be so big, the price have to go up.
It will. I mean,
what's the going rate right now? If I'm, let's say I'm 19, fit, and I want to install shingles, what's the starting pay today?
I mean, without any knowledge, I'd say around $20 an hour is a good starting wage.
And then if you're skilled and know what you're doing?
30.
30?
I mean, you can get up to 35, 40. I mean, if you can run a crew.
That's $40 an hour?
Yeah, if you can.
And what's
from start to finish.
What's the alternatives? Where else can I get a job in a town like this, and how much can I get paid?
There's a couple of good businesses. There's Cardinal, which is they make glass, and they pay pretty well, but their hours are.
Define well. Like, what's starting wage there?
I honestly don't know. I'd say around $20 an hour. Then you get bonuses if you meet quotas each month, I think. I've never worked there, but I know a lot of people do. And there's Kramer Brothers, which is a commercial construction company out of Plain, and they hire a lot of people. That's where I started my construction journey.
So how much do they pay these days?
I mean, right now they probably start around $25 an hour, and I know you can make up to $70, $75 an hour if you're a skilled journeyman. So,
do you feel like roofing will get there in a few years?
Oh man, I don't know.
How old were you when you started a roofing job?
I think I was 19 then too.
Oh,
and
so
then,
everything happened within a year?
Yes, it happened fast.
Okay. How long did you stay in the roofing?
I did it for a little while, and then it was probably about a year and a half, and I went back to Budweiser for like 2 months, and my buddy approached me. He's like, we should start our own roofing business together. And I'm like, oh man, Buzz, I wanted to stay with Budweiser. It was a cool job at the time. You're 19, 20 years old, delivering beer, walking to the stores, wearing your Budweiser clothes. Like, all right, I'm from Wisconsin, it's a beer drinking state. And he approached me, and I said, all right. So I gave Budweiser my 2-week notice, and the rest is history from there.
Such a typical roofing roofer going from roofing jobs to beer jobs.
Oh yeah, it worked for us. I mean, then we started. I mean, one of our first jobs was cedar shake tear off. It seemed to be all we got at the time. 2 layers, cedar shake tear off. And when we did it, we had a dumpster, your tarp, wheelbarrow, and a walk plank. I mean, once the dumpster got full, we put the walk plank on top of the dumpster, wheelbarrow the shingles up the walk plank, and pray to God you didn't fall off.
Wow.
But it was definitely challenging. So, I mean,
but sounds like the roofing always been paying way more than other conventional jobs.
If you did it right and sold yourself right, yeah. I mean, we put ads in the paper. We were both very personable, so that helped. And
what year was it?
That would have been 2000 when we started together.
Wow.
And then I think we went till about 2004, and we both remained good friends, but we just went our separate ways. So I started my own business at that time, and he has his own business. And I mean, it went well.
So you've been doing it for about 20 years on and off?
Yeah, I mean, I've stuck through it for 20 years.
Wow.
Except for the beginning, yeah.
How many roofing companies are in town?
A lot.
A lot?
There's, I would say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. But
5 or 6 is not a lot. We have 3,000 roofers in Minneapolis
of 2,000. I mean, but we don't step on each other's toes.
So if someone would get 5 quotes, it means they called all roofing companies in town.
Yeah.
They got quotes from every roofer.
And it's still the personality, and people know everybody. So I mean, you got to sell yourself. But yeah.
Wow. Talk to me about the business side. So 20 years in roofing. How's the money? How's the opportunity? What are the challenges? So you started before the internet.
Yes.
And you started right away working.
I didn't even have a cell phone when I started. We had the answer machine, and we wrote all our proposals on paper. I mean,
were you working for builders, other companies, or straight to the consumer?
We started with a couple local businesses. We did some of their construction, but there wasn't a lot of money in that. So, I mean, we went more to the consumer based, and we found a few hailstorms back in the early 2000s, and it's not like it is now. So, I mean, when you give you a paper, you just bid it, and that's how you do it. And most of the time, they just keep the money, and you go do all the legwork, and then that's when they were giving all the money to the consumer rather than having to get the recoverable depreciation at the end, when the work's done. So they give them $8,000, They go, oh, sorry, we don't need our roof done now. So I just take the money. It's like, man.
And
so
you have to beg them to pay to get something from that.
Yes. I mean, it's 1 out of 10 roofs we looked at, we get the job.
How much were you charging in the beginning per square?
Oh man, I think we're 170, 180.
170,
maybe.
180.
Mm-hmm.
How much you were paying for shingles?
Nah, it was $40 for architectural and like $29, $30 for 3-tab. And we're mainly doing 3-tab at the time. That's how we learned. Then architectural's like, oh, this is the next best thing.
This is easy.
Easy. Yep.
What shingles do you like?
I prefer Owens Corning Duration.
Right.
That's me. I mean, I like their fiber mesh strip. When it's sealed, it's sealed. I mean, we've tried doing repairs, and it's almost impossible to break them loose.
What's the hardest in the roofing business in 2021?
I mean, as employees, that's definitely tough. Like I said, I subcontract one of my friends. He does most of my roofing jobs because they get it done and they're willing to work and they're hard workers. Networking's there. I mean, as far as social media, I mean, I've been
Material shortages around
material
here?
shortages were definitely around. Prices have gone up.
How
So
much?
Adjusting to that, I mean, they probably went up at least $20 a square for us.
Was like 20-30%?
Yeah, and then OSB, when that shot up, I mean, that went from $9 a sheet to $55 a sheet. Come on, and how do you justify that to a homeowner? We got to replace 20 sheets of OSB, and you know it's $1,000 just for the materials.
Do you work a lot with insurance claims?
I do, but I don't go out seeking them. If I have friends in the area where the hailstorm hit, I'll put something on Facebook and just let them know if anybody's in the area that needs help. I'm willing to help. You know, guide them through.
Do you see insurance game changing recently?
I mean, it's a couple of companies were harder to work with. They weren't approving. I know when COVID first hit, they're letting us go out and basically ask or act as an adjuster. We'd write the claim, they'd approve it, and then throughout it afterwards, they started coming out deny.
Oh.
I mean, it's obvious hail
State
damage.
Farm?
Uh-huh. I don't want to say any names, but yeah, they were terrible. I mean, they became the new Allstate. You know, it was bad. But now they're starting to turn around a little bit. But
Tell me about the business. So you are hands-on business owner, operator.
everything.
You actually do it all. How big of a crew do you have?
Right now, I'm the owner, and then I have another construction company, one of my friends that I subcontract out to now. The last 3 years, they do it perfect. They do it how I do it. I make sure that I'm there to oversee some of the job. I mean, I sell the job. I make sure the customer's happy with me. And I want each job to look like it's my house and I finished. And that's how it's got to look. If something's wrong, we'll go back and
Do you
fix it.
still do any labor?
I do. I do a lot of, we have a siding, window, and just part of it too. So I do a lot of the siding, windows, decks, more hands-on with that. It's more detailed work. And
How old is your son?
he's 13.
Is he involved yet?
No, he's helped out here and there, but he shows interest in it. But I mean, he's involved in sports nonstop. He loves sports, so I'm not going to take that away from him. But he does come out and help. They had a group class about a month or two ago, and he got to choose who he wanted to go to job with for the day. It's a career class, and there's 3 of them that wanted to come, shadow me. That was a fun day. We used the Equipter to move patio doors around and install them, and they enjoyed that. So.
How can you describe opportunity in the roofing today? Like you started obviously 20 years ago when you were 19.
Yep.
Is it still good opportunity today? Is there still like money there? And
Absolutely. I mean, as long as you're willing to put the time in, I mean, social media is huge. I mean, put a small ad on Facebook. I mean, get a few messages here and there. I mean, right now, obviously I've been around for a long time, so mine's all word of mouth. T-shirts, I give out T-shirts all the time. That's huge. I don't put an ad in the paper anymore. I mean,
there's no papers anymore.
No, that's just the thing. It's just not there anymore. But there's opportunity if you're willing to start and you learn the business, and learn. I mean, I believe that if you sell it, you should know how to install it and know what's going on. I mean, anybody can sell, but you still have to know what you're doing and what you're dealing with. As far as somebody asks a question, how many rows of ice and water do I need? Somebody told me I need ice and water my whole roof, So.
Do you feel like we don't have enough interest in trades, like on the labor side? Is there enough people to meet the demand?
Absolutely not.
Why people don't want to do it? Because it's hard work?
It's hard work.
Nobody wants to work hard?
I don't know. I mean, it just feels like people grew up more entitled now to an aspect. I mean, they don't know hard work, and once they get hard work, thrown at them, it's like, they want $30 an hour to do it if it's that hard. And, it's hard to find good help, I'd put it that way.
You attended our first roofing process conference.
Yes.
And I know Fittest Roofer competition brought you there. And I remember having this conversation with you 2 years ago. You asked me, is it going to be Fittest Roofer next year? And I said, I don't know. And you said,
Right.
I hope not, because I want to attend and learn. Tell me about your experience at the roofing process conference.
The first year or the second year?
Second.
The second year, I mean, seeing all the other speakers, I learned a lot from them, just their story and what they brought to the business, and I can include it into my business.
So you got in the first one for Fittest Roofer,
Right.
but second year you didn't care for it.
Nope.
What changed?
I just wanted to learn more. I mean, the competition was brutal the first year. I mean, it was. And there's no going out. I went right to my room when the conference was done. There's no partying, no conversation with other people. I just wanted to sleep.
So
get well rested.
competitive.
It's very competitive. It was brutal.
What advice would you give someone who maybe have never been at a conference, not only roofing process, but getting out, meeting other, speak and network? What does it do? Because I see so many hate comments, people like, well, I've been in roofing for 20 years, like yourself, and I never went there. And you're like, you don't need to go.
Right.
Like,
No,
it's all scam.
Right. No, not at all. I mean, the people you meet there are always willing to tell you their story and help you. I mean, pardon my French, there's no assholes there. Everybody's like a tight-knit community, and everybody gets along with everybody. I mean, I enjoyed it.
How many friends did you gain from Roofing Insights events over the years?
I'd say close to 70, I bet. I mean, not that we stay in touch, but when we see each other at the conference, like, hey, how are you doing? How have you been this year? It's awesome.
That's awesome.
You want to go. I mean, other conferences, like, I kind of have to go, but this is one that I want to go. You can't wait for it. I mean, it's like a nice little vacation, and going to a conference. Not a lot of people like
Who
conferences.
excites you to listen more this year?
I know Eric Reno will be cool if he comes. So
Yeah,
there.
he will come this year.
All right.
He promised.
I was looking forward to seeing him. So
He is done. He is done this year. What's your favorite trade yourself? Like siding, gutters? What do you enjoy? You mentioned decks.
Yeah, I enjoyed roofing. I mean, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind tearing off. As long as it's a 612 or less, obviously everybody's going to say that, but it was just your mind's away from everything else. You're tearing off the shingles, putting them down. It's just, I found it soothing in a way. To me, I enjoyed it. I mean, you're getting a workout too. So, I mean, I work out to do my job. So while I'm doing my job, I consider that a workout too. And if you're properly doing it, using the right tools, I mean, that's why we bought the Equipter, to save on people's backs and people's, landscaping and stuff. But I mean, the whole aspect, I enjoyed roofing definitely more than anything else.
You mentioned it's a workout.
Yep.
Why do you still work out if you have that? And tell me about your workout journey, your fitness journey.
I've been working out since I've been 12 years old. I mean, it's just that this is my outlet. It's my escape from reality. Come in here and just lay everything else aside and tackle the weights. I mean,
shit. What is this thing? Talk to me, because this is awesome. I want this.
this was actually developed by a firefighter. It's called the Jacob's ladder. It's a hell of a workout.
Let's go, show us.
So you basically take the belt, put it on, and what engages the ladder is this cable, obviously. You start on it. If you want to go slow, it goes by itself. You walk on here for like 5 minutes. Pretty much equivalent
to climbing a ladder.
Just climbing a ladder. If you want to speed it up, you can speed it up. When you're done.
That's easy. Shit. Look at that guy. Let's play a ladder.
Okay.
Start with one and all the way as high as we can climb.
All right.
Look at that form. I bend my knees not because it's easy, because I don't want to hit the ground.
Does that help?
That's all right. I have more. Go. Got it. Two more.
Tie.
Call it a day?
Call it a day, man. Woo!
Tie. 15-15. We both agree we
Yes.
cannot do 16.
Finished.
And we don't need to find out who won. I don't want to beat the man in his own gym. So check this out. That shoes we gave him 2 years ago was because you competed. Did we give it to everyone or winners or?
I don't even remember what it was.
It was, we were mailing shoes to everyone. I think we did like 20 or 30 pairs. I think it was giveaway or, oh, I remember. Anyone who would submit us a video holding a shingle would get a pair of Nikes. Those were like $150 at the time. I remember I spent like $3,000 just for people submitting their videos. And he still wears them.
They're nice shoes. They're my favorite gym shoes ever. There's no doubt about that. They hold up to everything.
What advice would you give to roofers who abandon it? Like I have a lot of friends, and you know, my background is like flooring guys. I hang out with a lot of siding guys, and I remember most of my friends. I don't know, probably like 15 siding installers.
Yep.
Once you get married, once you start running a business, first thing that goes out of the window is your lifetime membership. And for a while, like they're still gonna keep paying for it. Like I was that guy who was like, before I go to work, I have to put the workout first. But but not many people have discipline for it. Is it discipline or is it something else?
I mean, it's discipline and a want. And when you feel your body going, I mean, the only way you're going to strengthen it is to work out. I mean, in my opinion, my back starts to hurt. I mean, some doctors tell you not to deadlift. I go down, deadlift, stretch it out, and I feel better. I honestly do. You know,
I absolutely love what he just said because I've been given this advice for years. If something hurts in your body, just put some load to it. Like if I have a shoulder injury or whatever, I'm gonna do some light mobility, some light weight, but I'm not gonna completely get it rested. I don't know, like rest helps, but for me, it's keep doing it.
I'm a firm believer in that too. I mean, it's against, practice, I guess, but
bad advice I had.
Yeah, it is, but I think it works personally. I mean, I've always found that.
You know, Arnold said that you have to surprise your muscles. Your muscles cannot have any expectation, confuse them. I love that mentality.
Absolutely, you have to. I mean, the typical workouts of 12, 10, 8, 6, confuse them, throw some volume in. I mean, you're doing, say you do 10 curls of each arm, okay? You do that every day, your muscles are going to plateau and get used to that. Throwing a set of 100, just cable curls, that'll confuse your muscles. You'll feel a pump then.
And I think it's also mental game too, because in life you never know what's coming your way. Right. So at the gym, like I absolutely love CrossFit because I never plan my workouts. So you just wake up in the morning, you go in, and it's every day is different challenge. Yep. And it prepares you later in life. Like I PR'd this morning, and I did not know I'm gonna do it. I have pains, but
you still did it, which is awesome. I mean, yeah, the mental aspect, it prepares you for real life.
So when you were roofing, you were still exercising like daily?
Yeah. There'd be, like during the summer, I might take a couple of weeks off, and I felt like, man, lost everything. You get the perception, you look at yourself in the mirror. I've always been a bigger guy, but I'd look, I'm like, oh, man, you've shrunk a lot. I'm like, gotta go back to the gym. The best thing was, my son was probably 3 or 4 years old, and I was doing a boot camp class at the time. I was losing weight and getting shredded, which I don't like personally. I like being bigger and weighing more. I felt tougher. But he looked at me one day, and I probably didn't lift for it. Probably 2 or 3 weeks going. He's like, "Oh, Dad, you're losing weight." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, bud." He goes, "Yeah, and your arms." I said, "What now?" "And my arms?" He goes, "Yeah, your arms are getting smaller." I'm like, "Oh." I went right to the gym and right back at it. I mean, had to.
But what advice would you give to roofers who stop going? Because I have so many people over the years absolutely argue with me, like a nasty way. Oh, this is, if you work hard on a job site, you don't have to go to the gym. It's, job is your gym. And I've been floor installer for years, and I always have problems with my back. Yep. I always have problems with my knees, and my joints. Like I have to be mobile.
Right.
What do you advise?
I mean, when you're on the job and you are getting that workout, there's only certain muscle groups you're working. I mean, you want to focus on hitting everything that makes you stronger. So come to the gym, and I mean, you're not getting a quad workout. Come out, do some leg extensions. I mean, right now, nailing down, boom, boom, getting a hell of a forearm workout and some shoulder workout, tearing off the same thing. But you're not getting that full body workout, and your body needs that to grow. I mean, if you're just fine, just coming home and feeling, you leave the gym with a refreshed feeling. I mean, everybody hates going to the gym, but nobody's left the gym saying, I hated that workout. Everybody feels great when they leave the gym.
Exactly.
Barring injury, of course. But
it's the same as a church. You have to
Yes.
make yourself to go in, but once you did go,
Yep.
you never regret
a
it.
whole new you, exactly.
Tell me about life in Wisconsin. Why do you live here? We were driving by and it's nothing but the fields. I'm actually surprised about such a nice facility in the middle of nowhere. We're like, we're going to the gym? I don't think there's going to be a gym around here. Tell me about why do you live here? And
I mean, I grew up as a family-oriented dairy farmer, right? So family comes first, and in a small town, everybody knows everybody, and it's just a way of life. I mean, you make your friends. It's hard to leave here. I mean, the scenery's beautiful. You get the seasons. I mean, I've been to Florida. I enjoy Florida for vacation, but I would not want to live there. And everybody's nice here. I mean, the land's beautiful. It's just where I grew up, and I love Wisconsin. I mean, plain and simple, I hate winter, but I power through that for the other seasons. It's just enjoyable.
you hate winter and you live in Wisconsin?
Exactly. I guess I don't hate winter. I hated working in winter.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, we do
Construction is.
it's tough. I mean, we do roofs in winter because people wanted it done. I don't like to install in the winter. I just don't trust that the shingles will seal properly. Even though come spring they usually do, but you can blow through the shingle, and I want my product to be known and not hated. So he and Shem, Heiser Exteriors installed this roof. They did it. It was 40 degrees out, and that Heiser Exteriors installed this. It was 0 degrees out, and shingles are starting to fall off the roof. They're probably blowing through,
How much land do you have here?
Just over 200 acres.
200 acres. Do you live American dream?
I'd say so, yes.
Why country? Why did you choose this over like city?
I grew up in the country. It's quiet. You have all this land to roam. I enjoy it. I enjoy the seclusion.
He told me the story about this truck. So he went on his own in 2005, and tell me the story about this truck.
Well, as far as this truck goes, it's old, it's beat up, it's used. So when I bid a job,
Is it original?
it's original.
2005.
Yes.
So you bought this brand new in 2005. It's 2021.
Yep.
So you have this for 16 years. Do you
Yep.
have any temptation to
I mean,
sell it, trade it in? How many?
no way.
How many miles you have on it?
265,000.
265,000.
Yep.
That's awesome. In 2021, what kind of opportunities someone have in this part of country if they would open construction business?
In Wisconsin?
Yeah, because there's so many people say there's no more money in the roofing. And
There's plenty of work out there. Like I said, if you're willing to put the time in, get yourself out there. I mean, as much as I don't believe in door knocking, I guess if you're just starting, approach somebody, get used to talking to a customer, knock on their door, get a door slammed in your face. Their roof's curling and falling apart, go knock on their door, get used to talking to people. And if you can do that, you can sell that and make sure you install a good product, you can make it. It's hard. The first 5 years of business is hard. I mean, 90% of people can install, but 10% can sell.
And let's talk about this. Describe the difference between being an installer and being a business owner, because so many people in our audience just still don't understand it.
Oh.
And people think that installing is easy. I always say the installation is 20% of your business.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that statement?
I do.
And now, like, what's the difference between running a business and running a crew?
You got so many hours beyond the install, right? So for installing, I show up to work, install the shingles, I leave work. Yeah, you did the hard labor part of it. It's definitely difficult. But behind the scenes, I have to talk to the customer. I have to sell the customer. I got to make sure that the customer's happy with the product and answer any question they have. Did I do this right? Did I do that right? I got to make sure I pulled the right permits. If permits are needed in that area of town, you got to order materials. Yeah, that's easy in some sense, but What if the job's 20 square and I order 15 square and that's why I sold it on? How do you talk that customer into, well, I messed up, yours 5 more square that we have to install and you're gonna have to pay this much more? Like, no, your bid was this much. You know, sometimes you got to eat that. Been there, done that. I've learned the hard way. So, I mean, there's a lot of hours behind the labor itself. I mean, I'd rather just go show up to the job and install, no problem. But I mean, if you want the reward, and you got to put in that extra time. So I've done everything with the business, and it's hard.
What's your favorite lift at the gym?
I love the bench press. It's been part of my life.
What's your PR?
485.
485. What can you do now?
450, 465 right now. I've been volume training, not strength training, for your fittest roofer competition.
Well, do you think you're going to get it this year?
Yes.
Yes.
I always got the positive attitude. Yeah, absolutely.
Some people have pets, tigers for pets, different animals. This guy has, let me show you. I don't want to tell you. Look at them. They're just coming at you.
Oh, yeah. Stay in here. He wants grass.
So let me make it clear. You don't have goats for milk or for meat.
Nope.
You have goats for pets.
Pets. Yep.
And you have kids' playgrounds for them to play.
Oh, yeah.
So how did this idea came all about?
My wife grew up with goats, and just one day she decided we want goats.
Did she grow up with goats like for pets?
Yes.
Or
they had pet goats.
They have pet goats.
Yes,
Is it a thing in Wisconsin?
Not really. That's Bane. That's Blaze. Right there.
Blaze.
Blaze Blue Eyes. That's Ophi. She's a special one.
What's name?
Ophi. Ophelia.
Ophelia, okay.
And that's Luca.
What's so special about Ophi?
She has no cares. She'll come up, she'll try eating your shoes. She's going to try eating his camera.
You own the gym now. What's more profitable, gym or a roofing business?
I mean, as far as value goes, I mean, I love the gym. I love giving back to the community, especially the high school kids. But I mean, as far as money goes, obviously a roofing business is going to pay more. But this keeps the community together. I mean, the gym's a great outlet for everybody, young and old. It's somewhere to go. And when I grew up here, we had the middle school we lifted at. And we were lucky to get in there, and it was a small weight room. And now the high school has an opportunity to lift there at their high school gym, but there's only certain times you can get in there, and it's good to give back and let high school kids come here. And they have 24/7 access. So, I mean, they got volleyball after school or football. I mean, that goes till 5:30, 6 o'clock. If they want to come lift, they can lift here. So,
how did you decide to open your own gym?
We knew the previous owners. They did a great job at starting this gym, and COVID hit, and they had to shut down for a while. And I think that really wore on them, and they were just pretty much done with it. And there was rumors that they're thinking of selling. So me and one of my best friends decided, you know, let's approach them and see if they'd be interested in selling to us. So sat down with them. It's actually been a year to the date, today, that we became owners of the gym.
Wow.
So made them an offer.
Did you work out here before?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So cool.
Me, my wife, and my son loved the place, and probably 4 or 5 years we worked out here, and we didn't want to see it go. And I know the rest of the community didn't want to see it go. So
you step up to the plate.
Yep.
Is it better now with the COVID and the restrictions?
Yes.
And stuff?
Yep. We navigated through the face masks and everything. I mean, that's what people believed. So I mean, we catered to it, and we wore our masks. So it was your choice, but most people did. I mean, it was a tough navigation starting right in the heat of COVID. So I mean, we lost members throughout, but we've also gained members.
Do you have retirement plans yet?
My gym.
Your gym?
My gym.
So how many more years in the roofing, and what's transition going to look like? You're going to sell it? What are you going to do with the company?
Honestly, I haven't planned for it yet. I don't know if my son would be interested in taking it over or not.
So you've been doing this for 20 years. Can you give one advice to someone who's just starting this journey in 2021?
I mean, social media is a big part of it. Get yourself out there, talk to people. I mean, personality's everything. Get people to trust you.
Great advice. Invest in yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Don't be afraid to take chances. If you're going to try doing it for yourself, swing for the fence, man. What do you have to lose?
Man, you know what? Like, I'm standing here, and I've seen people with Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff. but this is just, it's just different fun.
Yeah, we invested.
200 acres in Wisconsin with some goats, that's life. My kids will absolutely destroy me tonight for not taking them on this trip.